Hey, in this follow-up video, I'm gonna give you guys some training advice regarding flick shots. If you haven't seen the previous one, make sure to check the link in the description below. Anyway, a good flick shot, whether a macro or a micro shot, is a combination of mouse control and click timing. Mouse control is actually straightforward when it comes to flick shots. It's the ability to make straight lines while performing a high-speed mouse swipe and comes naturally when practicing flick shots. But a lot of players have inconsistency between left and right flicks, preferring one side over the other, like a soccer player that shoots better with his right foot than with his left one. And the reason for this inconsistency is mouse control. As you're able to perform faster and more straight mouse swipes to your right than to your left, the travel time between crosshair and target will be different. This means that in order to hit your target from the left, you need to compensate with click timing, which is very hard as we are talking about milliseconds. That's why it's important to train both left and right flicks so your swipes are equally between both sides. You can easily visualize this using good old paint to draw your swipes and look which side is less consistent, so you know which side needs more attention. Now, the secret behind flicking is something I just briefly mentioned, and that is click timing, which is nothing more than the moment you press your mouse button as the crosshair passes a target. And that is something you can train quite efficiently. Back in the days when I learned this aiming style, it took me weeks of training before I could consistently hit flick shots. So if you're a total newcomer, be prepared to train your ass off. And for those that already think they know how to flick shoot, time for a reality check. Anyway, this is what you should do. First, practice on stationary targets and position your crosshair close to it. You can set our trainer up for this under custom settings and set the spawn margin to 40 and the lifetime to 10 seconds. Now, focus on the distance between your crosshair and the target when performing a mouse swipe and start swiping slowly. As your crosshair is about to cross the target, you shoot while continuing to swipe. This way, you learn to estimate when to shoot and improve your reaction and click timing. Once you get a feel for it, increase the distance between your crosshair and the target and start ramping up the swipe speed while moving your focus towards the target instead of the distance. And don't forget to swipe left and right. For those that already have a flick shot in their wrists, you will notice that it is a lot harder than just flicking towards the target. So be patient and prepare yourself to practice this daily for at least 20 minutes a session, and this for a week before you can pin every stationary target down. A recommended accuracy before moving on is about 70%. Welcome back, you finally hit 70% average accuracy. Well done, it's time to move on towards moving targets and start flicking. Now, do the same as with the stationary targets, but half of the time you stop your crosshair on the target instead of continuing to swipe. You will notice that it is actually easier than continuing to swipe because your crosshair now starts to slow down when getting close to the target, giving you a bigger window to time the shot. But because the targets now move, you first need to track their movement by lining up your crosshair for a split second before taking the shot, as this will greatly improve your accuracy. Anyway, work your way up the difficulty ladder until you have at least 60% click timing accuracy and 70% flick timing accuracy on all difficulty levels. And yes, this will be a damn pain in the ass on hard, but remember, the soldier that sweat the most times in peace will bleed the least in times of war. So don't forget to make it hard on yourself and combine both micro and macro flicks in one session. The scheme will look like this. Every day 10 minutes of click timing practice and 10 minutes of flicking. When you have reached 70% accuracy on humanoid tracking hard, I can tell you that you have a decent flick shot in your wrists. Until then, keep practicing and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.